Welcome back to the channel. New project. It's finally on the lift. This is a 2008 Honda TRX 450R. And if you guys saw the sneak peek that I had posted, I don't know, a few weeks back, you'll know that this motor is blown up and the crank, that looks like the crank rod, or the bottom end of the rod went through the case. So this is going to be a pretty good build. We're going to have to tear it down and assess what we need to buy for parts. Typically bikes like this, most people would pot out. They wouldn't even bother with it because it's too expensive. But I'm not like most people, and I want to rebuild this thing and sell it and make some money. So we're going to fix it. This is what we got with it. Yoshimura pipe, which is pretty nice. We'll put this back on. Somebody took it off because they were about ready to attempt, I should say the previous owner was about ready to attempt to rebuild this and just decided to sell it. Didn't have the time. So these, I'm not really sure what these things are here, but I think there's some kind of a guard that goes maybe here in the motor mount. So we'll put those back on when it's all done. And some of the engine bolts are out. Let's see what else. The tires all seem to hold air. The two rears were flat. I put air in them and they seem to still be up. So that's a good sign. You got the Nerf bars. It's a little bit loose. We'll figure out how to tighten that up. It looks like it might need a bolt through it or something, but we'll fix that. It looks like somebody popped one of the radiator clamps off. Maybe we're getting ready to take this off. What else do we notice here? Unfortunately, the swing arm nut is missing off the shaft. So I should say the swing arm bolt. So I wonder if that thing's seized in there. I don't know. We said we gotta whack that thing with a mallet or anything if it moves. This thing's off. Let's get it out of our way. And it doesn't look like it's moving. So that's probably why they called it quits, because it wouldn't move. We'll get it out though. I'll use some heat. We'll get that out of there. The rest of the bike looks pretty good. The chain, we'll go around the other side, look at the chain. The chain is pretty bad. This thing was left outside underneath the deck for a little while. I don't know how long, but long enough for the chain to get pretty rusty. The sprockets look good, so I don't think the chain's worn. We might have to replace it. I don't know. We're gonna attempt to try to save that chain. I know some people are probably yelling at the computer screen right now saying, what are you, stupid? It's hard to change rusty, get a new one. But in the past, I've taken rusty chains off. If they're not worn out and they're just rusty, this one just looks like surface rust. It's not bound up or anything. The sprockets look really good. So I'll spool it up and I'll drop it in a pan of motor oil and I'll leave it there for a couple of months and take it out and see what it looks like. If it cleans up nice, then we'll use it. If not, I'll buy a new one. But we'll give it a shot, see what we can do with that. Let's take a peek underneath here. I haven't pulled the airbox off yet, so I don't know if there's actually a filter in here. Let's find out. Oh, there is a filter in here. Nice. Pro something or other filter. Nice. That's good. So we don't have to deal with that. That's good to know. Smells like gasoline in there though. Really bad. Which is not a good thing either. Alright, so I guess at this point here, what we need to do is we need to start stripping the plastics off. And start tearing into this motor. So I guess what I'll do now is I'll take the plastics off of this. I won't do it on camera. You know, it's pretty easy. I don't need to have you guys watch me take plastics off, and I don't think you want to. So what I'll do is I'll take the plastics off, And when we get it stripped down to the frame with, you know, no plastic, and we get ready to start tearing that motor apart, I'll put you in a stand and we'll do it together. All the plastics are off. I took this Nerf bar off, give me more room to get the engine out this way. I picked up this new DeWalt organizer, and I plan on putting nuts and bolts for different parts of the motor in here. I'm going to try this. It'll be the first time I use something like this. Usually I just use cardboard boxes and I separate them all that way. I'm going to try this time, see how it works. As usual, as you guys know, I like to put the bolts for the plastics back where they belong so I don't lose them. And I don't get confused where things go. I'm making a list of the things that I need, things that are missing, things that are broken, as I start tearing this thing apart. So far I noticed the gas tank was missing both of the bolts that hold the gas tank to the frame. It needs a headlight, it needs a tail light, and I'm not sure what else. I think I spotted something else it needed too. I'll show you my list real quick. Oh, I want to get a carb kit for it too. Let me move my glasses. I want to get a carb kit for it as well to rebuild this constant velocity carb. Hey, question for you guys. And I really appreciate it if you leave it in the comments. Anybody know what this thing is? It says Min and Max. It's got this long wire. It's spliced together here. The only connector that I see is this one here, which is part of the unit. It has a power wire with a fuse in it, and it has a ground wire. But it's all taped up. I put a battery on here just to get power to it, so I want to show you guys what it does. When I turn the key on, I mean, it lights up, but I have no idea what it is. It doesn't look like it's connected to anything. It's just got power and ground. It's not really connected to anything. I don't know what that is. Anyways, leave your comment below and let me know what you guys think this thing is. I'd appreciate it because I have no idea. Anyway, I found that thing, and I guess at this point I'll put you in a stand and we're going to start taking the top of the motor apart. We got to get the cover off. I'm going to pull the carb completely off because I want to rebuild it. So let's get you in a stand and let's start tearing into this thing. So I've been looking the electrical over on this bike. So this is that thing I asked you guys the question about, this thing here. And there's a couple, what was taped up on the end was a couple of sockets. I'm thinking this might be for like some type of headlights. I don't know, that aren't on here anymore. Maybe they were on here and someone took them off. I don't know. But still, if you guys can answer the question, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm looking this thing over and I'm seeing like this wire back here. I tested it. That's actually a ground wire, but I don't know why it's sticking up like that, why it's cut. So I'm gonna have to look into that. A lot of these wires are got electrical tape wrapped around them. I mean, like there's electrical tape hanging off of this. I don't know why. All the wires underneath the tank here are electrical taped. We got this thing here. I don't know what's going on here. Looks like someone cut into it with a razor blade, and then they took this wire out of it, and I don't know where that's going. It looks like it was pierced with a test light at one point. And then the battery connections and the starter connection. These look like ground, the type of ground connections electricians use outside for lightning grounds and stuff, like, you know, in case lightning strikes or whatever, you don't blow out your panel. That's what these look like. So one of the previous owners of this bike must have been an electrician or a wannabe electrician. I don't know. There's a lot of I don't even know what to say about this wiring. I'm gonna have to go through the wiring. Hopefully I can make sense of what's going on here, because again, I bought this bike and it wasn't running, so I don't know if the wiring's good or not. I'm assuming it is because it was blown up, but man, what a hack job. So hopefully I don't need to buy a harness for this. but we'll see. Anyways, I wanted to point that out. That doesn't feel very good. Looks like they put RTV to keep it on there. All right, there's the carburetor. That's out. We'll go put that on the bench and we'll rebuild that later. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't smell very good. Cams look good. I don't see anything in here that's really standing out. I mean, it looks good. So far, I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing. All right, I'm gonna pull the spark plug out right now, and then I'll pull these caps off, and we'll come back and take a look at what everything's, see if there's any damage. All right, we got the plug out, and that plug is nice and, I mean, it's brown. It's not white. I wouldn't say it was running terrible. I'll check the jetting to make sure it's okay with the pipe, but it doesn't look horrible. I'll take that. Let's drain the oil. At least there was oil in it. Because the timing chain has tension on it, and I can't rotate the motor because the crank broke. So I gotta take the side cover off. Pull this off. Boy, it's really dirty, I'll tell you that. These are great pliers for getting hoses off. All right, she don't look too bad in there. Let me pull the wires up and over and get this thing out of here. Boy, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Bronze, brass. Wow. She really detonated, didn't she? Wow, there is stuff in here. Holy cow. Look at that. I wonder if this is an aftermarket flywheel. Might be. Well, I can't get the chain off, so the motor's junk anyway, so I'm going to cut the chain off, and will make my life a little easier. All right, so the chain's cut. You can see I cut it. Maybe I can get that out of there now. Probably not, but at least it's loose. It's not in the way. And we can get this thing out of there. All right, let's pull the cams out now. Well, the cam. And take a look at that. Oh, dropped something. I just dropped the shims. Probably got stuck in the buckets. So that's what happened there. That's pretty crusty. I gotta pull the shims out of those buckets right there. Grab the shims. There's one. Two. So I lost one on the floor, but I got a whole shim kit, so we should be fine. Hopefully I have what I need. All right, at this point, I think we should take the head off. Anyway, let's get this socket off of there. I think it's disconnected, right? What's this guy here? Hose. Let's get that off. All right, I think we're ready to start unbolting this. Boy, those are on there. And once again, I always put all my parts back together so that it helps in the reassembly, and I put screws back in where they belong. Oh, the head looks good. Thank God. She is not beat up. That is good news. Real good news. I am very happy about that. Let's take a look at this piston. You can see that the piston isn't straight inside the cylinder anymore. I can't tell if the cylinder wall is messed up or not. Alright, let's pull the cylinder, see what it looks like underneath. Pull the guide out. Guide looks good. I don't see anything wrong with the guide. Let's see if we can get this guide out. This one's out. This one don't look bad either. Alright, let's pull it. Let's get a look at this thing, shall we? See if we can spot anything. See the crankshaft? She is right. She snapped right off. The connecting rod snapped right off the crank. It went right through the block. Well, getting this motor out of this frame isn't going to be easy because this bolt right here is frozen solid. I don't know if it's got corrosion in here or what, but it won't turn. I can't get it to move. This bolt right here is also frozen. That's why whoever started taking this apart didn't finish, because this is frozen inside of here. I can't get that to move. And the crankshaft won't move. And the connecting rod is still wedged in there and the piston's in there. I can't get that out. So that's not that big a deal because it'll come apart when I split the case. But the problem's going to be getting the motor out of the frame. This one here doesn't bother me because I could take the motor out with that on there. But I will get that out. I'll just heat this up real good with a torch. And I'll hit it with the hammer and it should slide out. I'll try the same on the back here. I don't know if it's going to work though. The case is a junk anyways. I might have to sawzall this thing off, sawzall the case off, and then cut the bolt, and then try to work the bolt out and then get a new bolt. The case is a junk anyway, so I might have to go completely insane and destroy this case to get this thing out of the bike. But anyways, that'll be in video number 2. Let's head over to the bench and inspect the parts we took off and make sure that the top end is good. and we can continue on using them. Check that out. That looks like brass or bronze. I gotta say that's the inside of the crank, I guess. Well, let's take a look at some of the stuff that we have here and just figure out what we got. So this is the oil filter, and it's pretty dirty. I'm seeing some metallic in there for sure. The timing chain, as you guys know, we had to cut it to get it out, so definitely need a new timing chain. Flywheel looks good. No issues with that. I mean, other than that, it was dirty. Still needs to be cleaned, but I don't see anything wrong with this. This looks good. That's good. The stator is real dirty in here. There's all kinds of stuff in here. This needs to get cleaned real good. It looks like somebody has replaced it once before. Like I said, it needs a good cleaning, but I think it'll be all right. The cover itself is good, so we're fine there. No issues there. The head. The head looks good. There's no damage on the head at all. Everything looks good up here. I don't see any problem. Other than it's dirty and it needs to be cleaned. Side the ports. Don't look too bad. Let me grab a flashlight. We'll take a peek in there. They don't look too bad. We'll clean that up. We'll get in there and clean it. But it looks pretty good. Not too bad. Intake. Intake looks real good. Wow. Intake ports look beautiful. Very nice. No complaints there. The valves look good. They didn't take any hits. They just need to be cleaned up. And we can do that. So the head is good. And I'm happy about that because it's an expensive piece. So I don't need to buy it, and that's good. Cams. Cam, I keep saying cams. It's a single cam. The buckets are in here. Pull those out, put them in here. I lost one of the shims on the floor over there when I took it out, but not a big deal. This looks good. I don't see any problems with any of this. This all looks good. There's no wear on the gear. Has decompression. Rocker looks good. Everything looks good. That's good news too. Let's hang on to that. Let's put that in here and hang on to that. Set that aside. The cylinder. Take a look at that. I mean, this thing's got, I don't know if you can see light on it. You can see the cross hatching in there from when it was just rebuilt. This thing is just rebuilt not too long ago. And it still has a cross hatching in there, which is good. The only problem is we got a couple of dingers. There's two dimples, one there from something getting caught between the piston, but the cylinder itself looks fantastic. I really don't think those are going to make much of a difference. We'll throw a hone in this, and this is definitely usable. There's a couple of little dimples down there, but that's below where the rings are, so that's not an issue at all. And where this is right here, I'm pretty sure we can hone that, and it'll be fine. It's not going to cause any problems. You won't lose any decompression, won't lose any compression or anything like that. So I think the cylinder itself is good too, which is good. But we'll throw, we'll throw a hole in it and check it anyways, just to be sure. And the carburetor. I don't know if the carburetor is obviously going to need to be rebuilt, because I'm not going to obviously take a chance of it not working properly. But it seems to work pretty good. It's not hung up or anything. But we're going to need a rebuild kit for this too. But we have the carburetor. So at this point, I'm going to end video 1. I did plenty of stuff. I mean, these are rusted on here too. I'm going to have to work those off, put some, they'll do it now, put a little lube on them. Let them sit. They're going to have to, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to end video 1 right here. And look at the bike and just figure out how I'm going to get that motor out of the frame, because if I can't get those bolts freed up. But that'll be in video 2. So if you guys want to see me completely butcher up that engine trying to get it out of the frame if I can't get those bolts loose, make sure you subscribe so you'll get notified when that fun video hits the airwaves. Other than that, I guess we're in pretty good shape. The parts that I have here, I mean, let's say I can't get that thing together. I'll be able to pot this out and get my money back. This head's worth at least 250 bucks, maybe more. The carburetor's worth 150, 200 bucks. The cylinder's worth maybe 100 bucks. The stator side cover, cleaned all up, probably worth 100 bucks. I mean, I got wheels and tires that are worth 200 or 300 bucks. I got side covers, I got push bar, I got A-arms, I got, grab bars, I got handlebars, I got everything, steering stem. I got enough parts here that if I had to, I'll get my money back. So that engine isn't looking very good. I don't know how bad it's going to be on the inside, but I'm pretty sure that I'm going to need a balancer as well, because that probably got either broken or bent. But we won't know until we split the cases. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Hit the subscribe button, because this next video is going to be crazy. And leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Also, let me know what you think. That thing I showed you guys earlier there, that little tiny box with the 6 red lights on it. I don't know what that thing is. Let me know if you guys know. And I'll see you guys in video 2.